for a new build, and this time we're going to be looking at Eduard's Tempest. And as always, we start with the cockpit. We get loads of lovely details in this. Unfortunately a bit was broken, but Eduard were kind enough to send some new parts out. We also get a little bit of photo etch just to brighten up the instrument panels and seat belts and all that sort of stuff. So let's get cracking and we'll start building the cockpit. So we have to be careful with these parts, so I'm going to be using a razor saw and a knife just to be careful, so I don't want to break the parts again. So I've painted the cockpit black, and where the parts of the instrument panels are black, I've just put some mask oil on there, and now we're going to paint it with the interior green. As you can see on the cockpit walls, I've masked off where it's going to be the black part and then the green cockpit colour. Next up's the seat belts. So we're going into a fashion the lap belts first to the actual aircraft. Sorry, the seat. This is quite tricky. You know, some super glue and then just leave them there until it's set, and then we can bend them in place. This is where I have to apologise. I lost a lot of the footage of the actual building of this kit. So we're going to go straight onto the paint. I do apologise. The kit went together extremely well, so there's no worries with that. So we're going to be moving on to the paint, and for this I'm going to be using some of the Crafting World masks. So this is the Tempest Mark V. Starting off with the sky. So we're going to mask that off, well, we're going to paint that and then we're going to mask it off. And we're going to start looking at the invasion stripes. I'm also painting the sky colour where the aircraft identification letters will be. After the identification letters are on, we're going to start looking at painting the invasion stripes. So on the aircraft, making sure we get the undercarriage doors and all that sort of stuff. For the invasion stripe, I'm going to be using 10mm masking tape. Now in this scale, it's about 9.6mm, so 10mm masking tape is absolutely perfect for this. So as you can see, I've put a bit on, then I'm going to use another bit of tape just as a spacer, and that will then help me line up for the next part, and so on and so on. Once that was done, I last up and painted the black, then I masked it all up, and then we start on the actual camo colours. So first off, with the underside, just give it a quick blast over in all the right places, and then I'll be doing some highlights and what have you with darkened and lighter colours, ranges of this colour. Once that's done, we can start looking at the camouflage, the stockside camouflage. So we start off with the grey, and then once I've done the grey, I'm going to lighten it and blow in the centre of the panels and places like that. Just adding some different textures, well, not textures, different patterns and what have you, really randomly. And then with a really thin coat, I will then go back over this to bring it all together. So I'm adding a little bit of dark to that colour now, a little bit darker colour, and doing exactly the same with the darker tone. Then with a really thin coat of the grey, and this will help fetch all the colours together. I did exactly the same with the green, as you can see. So now it's time to remove all the masking and seeing what we are actually left with the camo and the mask sets. So as you can see, the evasion stripes turn out rather well. Now it's time to have a look and see how the roundels and all that sort of stuff turn out. Yep, really happy with those. And there we are, the roundels and everything like that. After all the decals were put on, I then added a gloss coat, and now we're going to start with some chipping with all different colours, well not the colours, the main colours on the invasion stripes, and some silver. Just using a fine brush and a sponge, and just adding random bits of, you know, silver and all that sort of stuff on there. Once all the chipping was done with the paint, I put a flat coat on the aircraft, and then with some watercolour pencils I just added some more scratches. These are more scratches as opposed to chips all over the aircraft. Once that was all done, we gave a final flat coat, added some pigments and some exhaust stains, and there she is, all finished. A really enjoyable build, not without a few issues, but again, I'm really happy at how this one's turned out. Right, that's it for now, fellas. Speak to you soon. Bye.